Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Okay, first of all, I'm not doing my makeup today because I ran out of makeup wipes. Okay, so this is the first video you see on this channel now that I don't have makeup. Plus it's currently morning, so you know my room is a real mess. Thank goodness you can only see like this up. You can't really see much. But it's a good thing because my room is a legit mess. So I want to talk about Barbarian, which is a movie that recently came out, I think in September. Yeah, it came out last month. And I just want to revisit it because I did watch it around the time that it came out. And my gosh, this movie, first of all, I had never even heard of the movie before watching it, okay? I didn't even know this was an upcoming movie until I literally started seeing like the trailer pop up in like on TV. So I was unaware of this movie. I was unprepared, but my God, when I watched this movie, I was actually really scared, okay? I haven't had this feeling for a movie in so long, okay? Normally when I watch horror movies, most of the time they're predictable in my opinion. Like if it's a slasher, like those don't typically scare me as much. I feel like I enjoy those more than like if it was like a possession or something, which technically speaking, I don't think this movie is this movie is not really a possession movie. If you think about it, like there's no priests nor exorcisms in this involved, by the way, in case you're wondering. But yeah, this movie scared me. Okay, like I said, I was unprepared, hadn't really seen the trailer. I just saw like the little TV spots that were on TV. So I was really unprepared, had no idea who was going to be in this movie. I know for a fact, freaking love him. I don't remember his name, and gosh, I like Pearl. I need to start writing these names down because this is really bad for me. The actor from It, plays Pennywise. He was in this, and I really loved him. Okay, I really like him as an actor. Okay, he won me over since Pennywise. Okay, so anything this man does from now on, like I gotta respect it. So yeah, he was in this, and uh so yeah, I wrote down it was scary. I had no idea what was gonna happen. I didn't really write down anything about the characters. Most of the characters were very okay. So this is my next note actually. So I'm gonna get into this right now. This movie felt in a way like very, I don't know if what to call it, like bipolar. I feel like that's a weird term to call it. It's like it switches from one set to another set, and then when it does that switch, like it has a completely different vibe. So, opening of the movie, you get a girl, didn't write her name down. Okay, this is looking really bad on me. Okay, you get a girl who shows up to her Airbnb and finds out there's someone already in there. Had no idea that was gonna happen. And that guy that was already in there is the guy who plays Pennywise. Really need to write these names down, okay? And so they just decide to share the Airbnb, and it's just like it's a really nice vibe, the two bond, like there's nothing shady about the two, they genuinely do get along. So I thought that was pretty nice, that was a really nice scene. Like it felt really like wholesome in a way. And then it cut to like morning, and when the main girl goes out to her car to leave for like, I don't know what she was doing, like an interview or whatever. This is where it freaked me out at first. This is the first moment I felt genuinely freaked out because the whole neighborhood is like a ghost town. Like all the houses are completely abandoned. They look like they've been abandoned for years, and the only sitting house that is still functioning is the Airbnb house. So that was like a creepy feel for me. Like I genuinely felt chills when I first saw that. And I wonder why. Like why would you want to go back there? I felt like that's a red flag in my opinion. I would have left. Okay, I would have, pack my stuff, go to my interview, whatever, and then just find somewhere else. Like, is it that hard to find another Airbnb? I know they're expensive, but like, is it hard to find another Airbnb is what I want to know, you know? For all I know, Airbnbs, they charge you per night. So like, you could have just been like, well, this one was, I already paid for this night. The next morning, could have, left, paid for somewhere else, and then it jump cuts to like this other guy who, he's like driving on like the highway or whatever, and like that's a completely different vibe. I felt like the movie cut to like a commercial. Like I was genuinely confused. And then this guy's having like his own issue. Supposedly he was involved in like harassment or whatever, and I don't really remember too much of what was happening with him, but to be honest, he was struggling in life. Okay, he had problems with like a coworker or whatever. Uh, he was being accused of like harassment or like rape or something like that. And then it cuts to him showing up to that Airbnb, and it's empty. Okay, and basically what happens here is it's empty because the main girl goes down to like the basement, and she finds a hidden door, and it leads to this like hallway, and the hallway is basically just leading, it's a short hallway that leads to like this one room, and it's a very sketchy room. Okay, like, again, red flag. I don't know why she's still there. It's a room that has like a bed, and it has like a camera or like a tripod or whatever. And I mean, it, like, the bed is all gross and everything, and I'm like, this is more red flags. Why are you still here, So she tells homeboy, the guy from the beginning, that that about this room, and so he goes to check it out, and I think eventually she also finds, or was it he, I don't remember, at the end of the hallway there's like a wall that opens up as a door again, and there's like stairs, and it just leads to like more, like, I don't know, it looked like a dungeon or something. And so the guy goes down there, and she follows. It always amazes me with like movies, like horror movies, like, that feeling that, like, if you keep going, like, like, for example, her, right, she discovered the basement, right, she saw there was a hidden door, she went into that hallway, inside the hidden door, saw a creepy room, and then decided to leave, right? Isn't it crazy to think that once she found that hidden door, she could have just closed it and left, and nothing would have happened, right? Like, it's like you kind of witness like that person's like, you see her, like, her last moment, where you're like, you could have been saved in this moment had you just turned around and left, you know what I mean? Like, I always feel that way. And I felt like once I started seeing her go down into that dungeon or whatever, I was like, it's over for you. Okay, you had many chances. You left the house at one point, and you still came back, and you're just going further into this house, So they go down there. There's this like creepy, like, long woman, like skinny woman demon thing that kills the guy and keeps her as like a prisoner. I thought she killed her at first as well. So that's what happens. Then we come back to the other guy, the one that was like, having that whole situation with his coworker. He shows up to the Airbnb, or I don't know if that's his house or like whatever. Like, he made it seem like it was his, but I'm pretty sure it was just an Airbnb for him as well. And he's freaking out because he sees that someone's been here. Okay, so another red flag. Okay, if you show up to an Airbnb that, you by yourself, and you see that clearly someone's been here, I think that's a sign for you to leave, don't you think? Like, I feel like that's like, every character in this movie had so many chances to just like completely ignore all the danger that was coming to them, but they all just decided to go further. So this guy, accepts the fact that there's other people's stuff in this house, and then he goes into the basement, sees the hidden door, and then sees that room with like the bed and the camera, and I don't know what he was doing. He started measuring the room, and I was like, what is this guy doing? Like, why are you in here? Like, you can leave, like, just leave. Oh my god, I was I was so frustrated with this movie, okay? This movie was scaring me, and also the characters were frustrating me because just leave. Like, oh my god, like, why do people insist on staying here? Like, there's so many red flags about this house. Every single character that has stayed in this house has, like, come across, like, many red flags, and they still just stay there, you know what I mean? So he eventually discovers the other hidden door within that hallway that leads to, like, that dungeon room. I don't know what that's called. I'm just calling it a dungeon, by the way. So he follows it like an idiot, like everyone else in this movie, and sure enough, he gets captured. Okay, this whole thing, the dungeon, the basement, the hallway, secret door thing, it was too scary in my opinion. I felt like I don't know. I just felt like these characters, like, you see that happening, and realistically, like, I don't think anyone would actually go there. You know what I mean? Not unless you're like some teenager who wants to get a nice TikTok, but I just feel like that's not realistic. Like, you see a basement has a secret door that leads to a secret hallway. I feel like no one would go there. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you'd film it for, like I said, like, people would film that for a TikTok, because I've seen a lot of TikToks about, like, creepy Airbnbs, like, hidden stuff and all that. And, but, like, for you to, like, genuinely, like, go in, explore it, start measuring the floor, like, what are you guys doing? Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't get, like, this isn't your house. You're staying there for a few days or whatever, and, like, I just, like, don't explore the house. Like, I just don't, like, you're there to stay, to sleep, and just chill. Like, why can't you just do that? You know what I mean? And uh uh yeah, this movie I wrote down has a weird ending. It kind of did. So I would say spoiler alert, but I've been spoiling this whole movie because, movie's already out for streaming, by the way. So if you haven't seen it yet, then, that's on you. I really wanted to get to it because this is a movie I really wanted to talk about. So, weird ending. Let me explain this, okay? So, eventually, I don't know how or what happens. Oh, the girl and the guy, the second guy, the one that shows up afterwards, that's like, who's been in here, they managed to escape. And then they run into this other guy who's like I think like a homeless man, and he's been trying to warn people about going into this house, but no one listens. People think he's just like a crazy homeless person who's like trying to attack them or whatever, and he saves their lives basically. And sure enough, he gets killed. Okay, he gets killed off by this demon woman, and uh she chases them. They end up on like this, like, high, like, what, like a bridge or something. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, by the way. I'm just trying to go based off memory. And then they all fall down, and the guy, I think, ends up dying. The girl kills him. So the guy, I think, pushes the main girl off, and then I think she survives that, and the guy ends up dying. Okay, and basically the demon woman goes up to kill the girl, and she, like, shoots the girl, the main girl, like the final girl. She, like, shoots this demon woman in the face or whatever, and then as soon as the bullet is shot and the gun is fired, end credits. I just felt like that's a weird ending, and, like, it's not an ending I was expecting. This movie was very unexpected for me. Okay, the movie in general was unexpected because I hadn't even seen the trailer, hadn't even heard of this movie until, like, the week before it was gonna come out. And then you guys hit me with this, like, bipolar thing going on where it just switches to different settings, different characters, different vibes, and then you give me this weird ending. I just felt like this movie is, although it's pretty good and it's pretty scary, I will say this is probably one of the scariest movies I've seen recently, like these past few years. Like, I haven't really seen a lot of horror movies that scare me personally. This one kind of did, so I give them that. It's a pretty good movie, but just very unexpected, very weird in a way. And also, this is also another example of like characters making dumb decisions in horror movies, because like I kept saying, why wouldn't you just leave? Like, you see these weird things. Like, if I walk into my Airbnb and I see that either the TV is on, or there's the basement door is like open, or if like I can tell that someone's like been eating the food here, I would immediately be like, this is not for me. I feel like I'm like entering someone's house like uninvited, and I just wouldn't deal with it. I would just leave. Like, why is it so hard for people to just like evacuate? Like, I get you spent the money for it, and like you wasted a lot of money on it, but I wouldn't care about that in that situation. I would be like, yo, I don't care if I spent this much. I'm getting out of here because this is creeping me out. I could potentially die. From now on, I've never had to, stay at an Airbnb. I've never had that experience. I've never gone out like that. But from now on, this movie really just prepared me for whenever it comes to me staying at an Airbnb, because so many red flags, so many bad things going on here. And these people just decided to just stay, and I just felt like that wasn't the right thing. But that's just my opinion. This is me revisiting this movie because I've only seen it once when it first came out. And I know it's like now on like streaming or whatever. So if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's a pretty good movie. I will say it's one of the scariest ones I've seen this year, as a matter of fact. Haven't been scared of a movie since last year. And yeah, I haven't had a good scare in a while. Okay, so yeah, that is my official revisit review on Barbarian. I just see a lot of people now talking about it now that it's like not in theaters, basically. I think it's not longer in theaters anymore. Well, this movie came out in like September, so I would say this is no longer in theaters anymore, but I don't know. I don't run theaters, so I don't know that. But if you get the chance to, see this movie, even though I clearly just spoiled it for you, um, it's a good movie, honestly. It's just really dumb decisions over and over again, and it just frustrates me. But yeah, that is it for this review, and stay tuned next time for whatever movie I either review or revisit, because this movie was technically a revisit, because this movie's been out for a while and I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to check out some of my other videos. And also, another thing I completely forgot to do, something I haven't been doing since I came back to YouTube, is plugging my social media. So yeah, I created a link down in the description if you guys want to check it out. It has links to all of my socials, which is basically just Instagram and TikTok, because those are the only ones I'm active on. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok for some more horror content. I do post some spooky horror movie like TikToks on there. And also check out my letterbox, because that is where I review most of my movies, and you can also see what movies I've seen. And there's a bunch of lists on there, like rankings of like franchises, that if you want to check it out, go ahead and like check those out. I'm gonna be doing videos eventually on all those lists, and also certain movies that are being reviewed on my letterbox. So if you want to get like uh a head start on what to expect next, or like if you want to go ahead and check out my rankings before I discuss them on here, go check it out. And also my YouTube is down there for because this is that link is on all of my social medias and all that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.